What's going on? What's going on, Fragrance fam?
What's up? What's up?
What's good, my guy Jay? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm good, brother. How about yourself, man?
Elated.
Hey, man. Good big day today, man. Big day, bro. Big day, man.
First day.
Yeah.
First day going live on YouTube.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited, brother. How about you, man? I'm excited.
Man, like I said, bro, I'm a little jittery.
Hey,
What's going on, chat? What's going on, fam? How y'all doing out there, man?
What's going on, everybody?
Welcome to our first live.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
For sure. Man, I tell you what, hey, welcome to the first live of Sips and Sniffs. Man, as many of you know, if you've been catching any of our lives on Instagram, my name is Hidden Gems, aka everybody knows me as, well, Hidden Gems, but James, and my co-host.
My name is Jason, for those who might not know. My name is Jason, where my motto is always blind buy your fragrances, never sample. Always blind buy. Nah, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing. You know, I was messing around on Ross's live, and he had, said that that's the way I should open up. So that was just my little thing for Ross right there, man. But no, always sample, y'all. Sample.
For sure. No, we play around a lot about that, and actually we blind buy a lot. However, we understand that in the beginning, it was risky. It was risky.
Absolutely.
Already.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, going along with our regular theme, for the most part, we are sipping and sniffing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But we are having a convo. This is the second part of our series, Convos for Change, our series of building your brand. Right. Jay, real quick, tell us what you're sipping on.
Man, I just got just a little simple sangria for the night, man. I mean, nothing major, man. I went out to Miami over the weekend, man, and I was doing a whole lot of sipping and wasn't doing that much sniffing. So I got to go light today, man. I got to go light, bro.
Understand.
What about you, man? What you got?
Me, myself, I got a little blend of, I believe it's a little cruise on rum.
Okay.
And a little mango juice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good little combination, man. Yeah, not too bad, brother. Not too bad, man.
Not too bad.
So what was your scent of the day, man?
Oh, well, I tell you what. Hey, my scent of the day, you're right. Let me go ahead and do that. My scent of the day, my brother. I was supposed to wear it yesterday, but I never got around to it. It was frangipani.
Okay. Armand Jane.
Frangipani from Ormond Jane, man. Okay. Nice little Fougere-like style. It has a little tuberose, which is noticeable. A little plum, a little citrus.
Yeah.
A little lavender. I believe it's a lavender or violet. One of them. But,
okay.
Nah, lovely. Little dry down, little soapy effect afterwards.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I mean, I went with a little something, everybody knows about the fragrance community. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my bottle out with me today, but I went from the House of Parfums to Marley. I went with a little bit of Setley for today, just out and about running some errands and, just scooting around, man. So, I just thought I would go ahead and go with a little bit of Setley for today. Been a long time since I've worn it. And it's good, man. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, it's not overly complex by no stretch of the imagination, but it gets the job done. It does what it's supposed to do.
True. Well, I know it's still warm out there by you, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Being that it's technically spring, all right? Technically spring. But I know Florida's spring heat is similar to ours at times.
Yeah.
And it can catch you off guard. So that Setley was probably a good choice.
Yeah, man.
For today.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. It's a great choice for the day, man. Great choice for today's weather. And, Setley does what it's supposed to do, man. Almost went with Greenlee, but Setley was my choice.
No, can't go wrong with either one of them. But let's go ahead and tune into the chat, man. Right now, we're looking on there. We got Josh. What up, Josh? Dane.
What's up, Josh?
Terrence.
What's up, Dane? Terrence.
Steve. Assalamu alaikum.
What's going on, people? What's going on?
Terrence, got a question for you. Have Have you broken your fast? I broke my fast at 7 o'clock. I know we were not supposed to really do it until 7:30, but I've been without something to eat all day, and I just
Yeah.
had to break. I had to break
Yeah.
it. How's yours
Yes.
going, Terrence? Let us know. Let us know.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Josh, man. What's up, man? My guy Josh in the building, man. I appreciate you, man. That's my brother right there.
Max level physiques. Okay, all
Yeah,
right, all
man.
right.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely,
moving
man.
on here. I'm showing. Okay, Dave Center of the day. I saw that when he was in the chat on Ross's live for
Yeah.
Downtown Deja Vu day 3. So he's gonna convert to Second Soul tonight. He
Okay.
opened that Second Soul, Jay. He must be over there about to clap some cheeks or something.
Hey, man.
Get into something
Dame does Dame things, bro. That's all I can say about Dame, man. He does Dame things, bro. Um,
already.
yeah,
We
man. I see
we
some
got
veterans as
Habib.
well. Okay.
Oh, my fault, my man. I was just gonna go ahead and finish this. Habib says he's wearing Vetiver Sensual.
Yeah.
Joel is wearing Parfum de Empire, Aqua de Scandola. Joel in these
Well, I
in
don't know
these.
what that is, man. You're gonna have to give us a note breakdown or something, because I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah,
For real. Joel be coming
yes
up with
sir.
some stuff, man. That's next level sometimes, man. I don't know what Joel be got going on over there, man.
Joe, man, Joe we gotta hire people to pronounce Joe. I gotta call Neve, one of my
Right.
kids from my old school to pronounce Joel's what Joel is wearing usually.
Yeah, man. Joel be coming up with some stuff, man. I see on his Instagram. I have to go and Google it and go on for Granigan Parfumo to see what he talking about. Cause
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
yes.
be knowing half the stuff that Joel got going on, man.
I'm hitting Jim, but he be finding the hidden gems,
Yeah, for
the
real.
hidden mispronounced gems, should I say?
For
So
real,
yeah.
man. For real, brother.
Well,
So
Jay, hey, welcome back to part 2, man. Let's go ahead and touch on this. We already talked about our sin of the day, but we'll get into another sin at the end of this. Wanted to go ahead and talk about part 2, man.
yeah,
Last week we touched on building your brand, and we definitely let everybody know that what we were talking about in building a brand is you building yourself, you know what I'm saying, or even a business. But some of these are just kind of general things to go by, general guidelines when you're considering building a brand, whether it be you, a business, or whatever it may be. All right. And last week I think we touched on the importance of first finding direction, figuring out what what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Discovering your skill sets, your strengths and weaknesses, figuring out what's going to work for you, and decide based on your skills and what you want to do, what you love to do, and what you're good at doing. Choosing a path that's correct for you, and shaping your life according to it, shaping you yourself on it according to that path.
right. And it goes in so many different directions, you know what I mean, in regards to building your brand. We even discussed, in regards to even like, your appearance and, how you present yourself and how you just carry yourself in general. If you play ball, it doesn't mean that you have to always dress like a
Right,
ball player. Or if
right,
you're a musician, you don't always have to dress like a musician. I mean, if you're striving and aiming to gain sponsorship and endorsements from these major, Fortune 500 companies, you have to look a certain type of way. You have to speak a certain type of way in order for them to say, okay, you know what? I want this person to be a face of my brand because they have a certain demographic of people in which they're trying to reach. Now, if gold teeth and gold chains is the demographic that they're trying to reach, then hey, it is what it is. But at the same time, if you're looking to get major sponsorship from brands like AT&T and Coca-Cola and Verizon and all these different companies, a lot of the times they're going to look for a certain look, polished, well spoken, things of
right,
that nature.
right.
So it's just different things that we touched on and we talked about, and we're just going to continue that conversation today, because there is more that goes into this, and we just need to have some good conversation, y'all. We're just going to have some good dialogue tonight. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, whatever it is that you guys may have questions about. ask some questions. We're all family here, so we're just trying to have some good conversation. To build up, brothers and sisters, in the community.
Great. Yeah, definitely. Ask away. As soon as we get a chance and we see, we'll definitely address them and answer whatever we can. But timing into what we were talking about last time, like you said, we touched on all of that, and now we wanted to touch on part two. At once you found your journey, or once you found your direction, your purpose, and whatnot. We talked about this off camera a little bit, but it's important that you receive an education in what it is that you are trying to do.
Right.
Whatever pathway you're trying to take in life, education in it is important. However, when we talk about education, our education is not limited to getting a degree. You have other ways of going about and being educated properly in some fields, such as real estate. I know, Jason, they have outside of school, you can take classes, night
Right.
class, stuff like that, or you can seek mentorship from an already experienced mentor. I know, athletes get trainers, and coaches. Teachers, we typically have to go to college and get certified and whatnot. But then you've got other people that get certifications, go to trade schools, make really good money. And then you have some that are just flat out apprentices, such as plumbers,
Yeah.
people that work on yards and whatnot. I mean, whatever it may be, we wanted to address the importance of basically getting and receiving the knowledge, the appropriate knowledge that you need to not only do well, but to excel in whatever field, whatever path, whatever journey you may be taking in life, whatever it may be. You definitely need to know what all is in store, what all you're going to have to face, what troubles might come about, what hardships you might face, how easy it may be. Getting an idea, a grasp of time, a time concept for how things are going to be achieved. So, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
Right. I mean, like you were saying, education doesn't always have to come in the form of, a 4-year degree, from a college, or, if you're going into, grad school, or, you're trying to get your master's or whatever. I mean,
True.
it can just be, like you said, a trade. You can go to be a plumber. You can go to be an electrician. Myself, real estate, I took a real estate course. So there's different things that you can do to educate yourself in whatever it is that your passion is and what you want to do with your life. Educate yourself, but don't let the education stop once you've achieved that certification. Always continuously educate yourself on whatever it is that you're doing, because things change. Real estate market, Lord knows that changes all the time. So we have
Yeah,
to make sure that you're staying on top of what's current. You have to make sure that you're always being in the know of everything, because the more that you know and you can show that, people will trust you and say, okay, this person is a professional in what it is that they're doing. And then therefore your credibility is a lot better when you can speak on things that you actually know what you're talking about.
true, true. And you know what? Let me touch on that. I mean, and that's valid in so much. On the side, I'm sorry, I am a medical auditor. All right, and I do a little medical coding. And the way that they update the E&M guys and the guidelines and whatnot that we have to abide by, I mean, that's every year or two they change something. So yes, it is important that whenever you find your niche in life, whatever it is that you choose to do, immerse yourself in being as educated as you can in that field. That way you're never behind, and nobody can ever take advantage of you. And at the same time, you're not at an aloof. You're not in the back of everything when things are happening. Jay, you being a realtor, what happens when you are not updated while other people are updating themselves? What happens typically when you don't update yourself with the market and whatnot? What typically can happen?
Well, what happens when you don't know the market? It affects. I mean, for one thing, I mean, you're probably not going to do much business, because if there's a shift in the market, you have to know what that shift is and how you can counteract that shift. So just say, for instance, like now, the interest rates are through the roof right now, through the roof, over 7% as far as the interest rates. So what I like to tell anybody that's looking to buy a home, especially in this market, the interest rates are going to change. They're going to fluctuate. They'll go up and down. So what you have to do is you have to marry the cost of the home, not the interest rate, because you can always refinance and get a cheaper interest rate. But as the interest rates go down, the price of homes go up.
Yeah.
So the same house right now in this market, that's 350 with a 7% interest rate. If rates drop down to 5.5, that same house that's 350 is now going to be 385.
Talking that real estate talk.
So
Hey,
you have to make sure that you stay on top of these things. You have to make sure that any and everything that's going on in the market, when it changes, you can adapt to it, and then you can direct your buyers into the right steps on how to obtain home ownership and kind of bridge that gap between that fear that they're having of the market and what's going to be reality in the next year or so. So I'm always telling them, marry the price of the home, the interest rate will change, refinance, get yourself a lower interest rate, and you're golden. It's that's just how I counteract some things. But there's some things, man, things change like this. If you don't know the answer to something, it's okay to say that you don't know, but get an answer for them. Don't just leave it as I don't know. No, you have to make sure if you don't know, hey, you know what? I don't know, but give me just a second and let me get an answer. Pick up the phone, call a mentor, call a sales partner, or whatever it is that you have in your corner that can give you that knowledge to where you can get that information to them quickly and still you can secure the sale.
I tell you this, going into our love, our passion, one of our passions, perfumery, they always have to be up on what's new and what's latest. I mean, you look at people like, let's say the reviewers like Ross and them, they have to be up on the latest trends, the latest brands,
Right.
what are the latest notes that everybody tends to like during these holidays or during these days or these seasons or whatnot. I mean, the amount of re-educating that they have to provide for themselves, and there's no definite way to do it. There's no classes to necessarily take about understanding, what people desire to hear about, but you always have to be in the know. Also training, sports training. Talk to Eric. He does football. I do basketball. I mean, Jay, you close to my age. I remember back in the day there was no Euro.
No,
You know what I'm
no,
saying? There was no crab dribble. I mean, we didn't call it that. You know what I'm saying? There was no, as long as your feet are moving, as long as you don't have control of the ball. I mean, a lot of that stuff over the past 10 years, I've been updated so much on footwork that I have to teach kids, ball handling, things that have been stretched. I mean, wide. Pause. But I'm talking about the exceptions that they've been giving some of these athletes on the basketball court has been ridiculous compared to what we naturally grew up understanding how to dribble and whatnot.
right.
Started with AI, and since then it's taken off. Now you got Kyrie and you got all this stuff. So being a trainer, I still have to update myself with like calls on court, movements and whatnot. So yes, just to kind of put it out there, hey, always stay up to date.
Right.
Your boy's wilding, man. He
No
gonna play no
Diddy.
Diddy.
No Diddy. Yo,
Hey,
man, that Diddy
look,
is wild right now,
look,
man. Diddy is
look.
wild right now, bro.
Hey, Diddy is I don't know where Diddy is. We all trying to find Diddy right now.
Man, Diddy is wilding right now, man. That's a whole nother conversation right there,
Hey,
man.
yeah, we'll touch on that another day. But no,
Um,
like you said, always important to immerse yourself. And once you immerse yourself in the education, it becomes an application thing.
right.
But go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
No, no, bro. No, I mean, you're absolutely right about what you're saying. Um, you know, One thing that I learned, throughout, my entire career was that you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything. Whatever your niche and whatever it is that you're doing, try to perfect that craft of what you're doing, but at the same time, educate yourself in a lot of other things, because you just never know which direction life can take you.
Yes.
So sometimes, it's good to know a little bit about a lot of stuff. I'm no electrician by no means, but I can tell you how to put up a ceiling fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to do stuff like I know how to put a backsplash, in your kitchen. I can help with flooring. I can do some stuff with plumbing. I can just do a lot of different stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a master at any of that by no means, but I know a lot about it, to where if someone asks me questions about stuff, I can guide them in the right direction to get it done.
Gotcha.
So, education is the key to everything. I mean, they harp on that, from the time that you're able to go into kindergarten. You need to learn your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. You need to learn the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of life at the same time. So you learn those ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and I'm telling you, you'll get to the multiplication and division and, the whole algebra side of things and all this other useless information like that. But you know where I'm going with this. But, just make sure people educate yourselves, because knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. And the more that you know, the more that you separate yourself from a lot of other people, because a lot of other people aren't taking the time to read and study and master their crafts. People are too busy on TikTok and, people too busy, doing all this other craziness, and they're just missing the bus and chasing their tail about a lot of stuff.
True. And like you said, yes, it's always important to have education and knowledge on things outside of what your career is. I think every man nowadays should strive to be a Renaissance man in a sense. You hear a lot of women walking around talking about, I want a man that can. I've heard some go as far as to say can build a house. It's like, okay, you're requesting too much, okay? Right. But then I've heard others that be like, I want a man that can change oil, and it would be good, And if you don't want to learn how to change oil, at least know where to go, Right. You know what I mean? If it's important things, certain things, like you said, little things should be requirements to you, like changing a tire. Right. Whether you do or not, whether you have AAA and you choose to or not, if push comes to shove, and one day it should become a requirement, every man should know how to change a tire.
I agree. They should teach that in school, man, to be honest with you. They should teach men how to do basic men things, how to change tire, how to, do an oil change. You know what I'm saying? How to do just little things. I mean, I don't know about your school, but when I was in school, we used to have what they call industrial arts.
Yes. Yes. We used to have to build. We used to have to cook, and we used to have to do random things. We had to learn about cars in the midst of that. They taught us everything.
Right. But now they're taking it out of the school system, man.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of schools have that, or it's optional. I remember it was a class that you either took that or you took home ec.
Right.
Like the boys went to industrial or whatever it was because the girls were cooking. We were the ones over there dealing with stuff with our hands.
I took home ec because that's where the girls was at. So I was a home ec. So yeah, I got all that other stuff at the house. My pops taught me all that stuff. So I went back where all the honeys was at. So that's what I was doing.
I did one semester in and I don't even know if I finished the semester, because now that I think about it, the requirement back in high school with us was that you had to do it if you weren't in sports. But because I was in soccer, they didn't make it a requirement one of the years. So I think I got out of it after the first 6 weeks.
Okay.
That's what I want to say. I want to say I remember that. But yeah, but it was definite. It was definitive. Something you had to take unless you were doing like a sport, which still taught you how to get kind of down and dirty with your hands in a sense.
Right.
But a lot of that stuff has been lost. So,
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And I just think that it's a shame that these type of things aren't being taught, because in my humble opinion, I just think that society now has kind of stripped men away from being men. And we need to get back to the basics of being men again. We have to get back to that. It just sometimes bewilders me sometimes, man, where I'll see women doing more things than men. And I'm just like, wow, like I've seen women changing oil, and it's not to say that women can't do it. So I'm not
Yeah,
trying to sound sexist by the little
exactly.
stretch of the imagination. But what I'm saying is that I've seen situations where there's a man in the house, but the woman is out there cutting grass. The woman is out there doing stuff with the car. To me, that's not balanced. That's out of balance, man. And that's just not what it is. But we're gonna segue that into a whole different topic. Right now, we're talking about building your brand. So
Yes.
we're gonna come back to that situation, in a whole other different situation. But
I tell
um,
you what, let me hit some of these comments real quick, Jay.
okay,
So on here, Joel, we will get at you. Granted, we do need a moderator at some point, so we will definitely get at a few of you.
right,
Joel said, "Knowledge is power." That's what I always say to people. That's how he rolls. True, true.
yeah,
Terrence said he took trades out of schools long time ago. Yeah, home ec and auto body and all that was offered. Yeah, that's
right,
gone now.
right,
Habib said, I grew up watching shows where they have home ec, cooking, and auto body classes and looked forward to that, but was disappointed when that wasn't reality. Trust me, Habib. Hey, look, look, it was a reality. I'm not sure how old you are, but trust me, they did away with that more so recently because when we were watching shows such as Family Matters, One on One, what are some of the other ones?
you mean
You
like
know that
what
TGI Friday, Boy Meets World, and all that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What's it like? Full House and
Full House.
yeah, all those
You see
shows
those
like
on
that.
there? Yeah, when they had those on there, Jay. Hey, we was in those classes. We
Yeah,
knew people in classes.
yeah.
But that's what it is. He said he just turned 30. So
That's
10 years
yeah,
later, yeah, they definitely did away with that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, 30 years old. I mean, yeah. I mean, hell, I'm almost 20 years older than Habib. So yeah. So when I was in school, you know what I'm saying? That's when, you had to get your stone tablet and your chisel, and you had to, etch your assignments out in stone tablets and turn it into the teacher. You know what I'm saying? That's just how
Yeah.
long it's been since I've been to school.
Look, you remember making wood ornaments and whatnot. I remember that was all I was in there for in 6 weeks, right before I left. But I remember people were coming in there. Those jokes that they had on those shows were real. People
Yeah,
really didn't know how to gauge things, and so you had people walking out of there with sliced fingers, not cut off, but sliced, splinters out of this world. Like it
man,
was crazy how uneducated and I don't even want to say untalented. It was just that we just didn't know until we knew. And a
exactly.
lot of stuff was governed around for men around using our hands. You know, back then everything in school was like by hands or by mind. Not like today where it's all electronical and whatnot. But
Exactly.
like you said, I don't
Yeah.
want to harp on that because, like you
But it's
said,
all good, bro. This is the beauty of a live, man. You know what I'm saying? Conversations gonna happen. You know what I mean? So it's all good.
yeah,
But yeah, but like when you're building your brand, you know what I mean? Like where we were where we were going with everything is that
yes, get right back on.
you just have to make sure that whatever brand it is, I mean, whether it's like you said, it can be fragrance, it can be, shoes or t-shirts or whatever it is. What you have to make sure that you do is that you have to make sure that you have your target, audience. What's going to be your primary targets and marketing to which demographic of people are you trying to solicit and get your business from? Then
Right.
you need to have, your unique selling propositions and things of that nature. So I mean, when you want to have your brand and you want to put your brand out there to the masses, it's a whole lot more than, okay, I'm just going to get my brand, I'm going to put it up on social media, and here we go. No, you have to have a strategy, you have to have a plan. It's a lot that goes into it long before you even put that first post up.
True.
Because even when you and I were discussing doing this platform, we were talking, man, what do we want to do? Who are we
Yes.
going to go after? We don't
Yes.
want to do things run of the mill like everybody else does it. We want to do something different. But what did we want to do? We went down and we talked about a lot of stuff before y'all even saw the first Instagram live that we did. We had a lot of conversations about which direction that we wanted to take our brand and our platform. And believe it or not, even then till now, things have changed
Definitely.
in regards to what we're doing. So we've decided at this point, okay, you know what? This isn't going to be a quote unquote standard fragrance review channel. This is going to be more of a podcast to where, yes, we will discuss fragrance. We'll talk about whatever we're drinking and whatnot, but we're going to bring real life conversations, real life situations to better us as people. And that's what we want to do. We want to better ourselves. Yes, we all have the same common goal. Well, not goal, but same common thing. We have the same things in common of what brought us all together, which is our love and passions for fragrance.
Yes.
But we know that things go a lot deeper than just fragrance. So we want to be able to have good conversations, good dialogue, things that's going to make you think once we're done with our lives and once we put up our posts on YouTube. We want to give you guys something to think about. We want to give you guys a sense that, damn, you know what? Every time these brothers are on their lives and on their platform, we learn something that we can take in life with us. Not just, okay, this particular fragrance smells like this, and this particular fragrance does this, and this particular fragrance has this much longevity, and yes, it does this, and it's great for winter.
Lord
No,
knows
we
we love
give
it.
you guys stuff to take with y'all to where you can apply it to your everyday life,
Yeah.
and you can take that information and be better husbands, boyfriends, uncles, whatever it is, that you can take this information, apply it to your everyday life, and this just become better people. That's what our platform is for.
Yes. No, most definitely. We're definitely trying to just improve anybody, and we are angled at men. We are angled at men. Um, Mainly because we've had several talks about. We feel that not necessarily attack, but we feel that the outlook on men has definitely changed for the worse. The way that people see us, and we're not just talking about black, but we're talking about men as a whole. The way we are seen in the public is completely different from how it used to be. And part of
Right.
this is our own fault, as a whole. Maybe not individually, but as a whole. And so our goal in here is to have those uncomfortable conversations and some of the enjoyable conversations, so
Right.
that we might not only just have them with you, but you might feel free to also go out there and have it with another young man that you see walking down the street, or older man, or whoever, to pass it around and make it okay to have these conversations so that those who don't know will be educated and might be influenced to do something more positive that would change. I strongly believe, and it takes one. It takes one. All it takes is
Right.
one. You change yourself, because you can't help anybody until you help yourself.
You're
But
absolutely
you
right.
help yourself, and then you help someone else.
Right.
And in doing so, if it's received correctly, that one person will help someone else. And I believe, I forget what it was, a movie that I had watched way back in the day. I think it was Tom Hanks or whatnot. Oh, Pay It Forward. Pay It Forward, where
Okay.
one person went out there, set out to help one person, and that person was felt so appreciative that they later went out and remembered that when it was time for them to help someone else. And this just ended up becoming a domino effect that eventually had a huge effect on the rest of that. I think it was maybe that city or whatnot, but I believe that it could really change the world, a
Yeah,
community, a country.
absolutely,
And
absolutely, and
doing so, that's what our goal is. It only takes one
right.
conversation, one person, one set of ears, one body enacting on it. I mean, that's it.
Right. And my goal for this whole platform of what we're doing, it's just about getting information out to people. It's gonna be, me sharing things from my own personal life with you guys, my own personal experience and things that I've gone through, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be 100% transparent with you guys. Like I'm not gonna sit up here and try and act like, oh my gosh, I've always been, this successful dude my entire life and I've never made mistakes and I've never, failed and all. No, man, like I've got a lot of stories that I'll be sharing with you guys over time, in regards to, whatever topics we're discussing. And if it calls for me to bring my own personal triumphs, tragedies, failures into this, I'll bring it to you guys, because what we want to do here is that we want to make sure that even if we only touched and changed one person's life, just one, what we're doing is worth it. I don't care about, all this other stuff, yeah, monetization, all this stuff is cool. But for me, it's just about me speaking from the heart. We having some good times together, educating, not just us bringing things to y'all, but hell, even y'all bringing things to us, because we can all learn from each other. And that's
True.
what this platform is for. We're going to talk, different wines and rums and bourbons and all these things and different fragrances, but we're really going to have some great real life conversation. And, we got to get back to man being man, and we'll have different people on our platforms to talk about different topics. We've got some people lined up in the pipeline already that's agreed to come on our platform and have some great conversation and share their knowledge and their specific genre of things of what they do in life. And we're just gonna have a good time, y'all. Like I really know that this is gonna be a very special platform that we have, and I'm just so happy and thankful, for those that have joined us on our very first one of many to come. So thank y'all, appreciate y'all so much.
But we're gonna go ahead and get back on building the brand, all right? Because hey, it's being our first live, and you know what? We have yet to do an intro, so we got to go back and do an intro for the channel. But we will address that at a later time as well. But back to part two of building your brand, immersing yourself and educating yourself in the field. All right. A lot of people, like we touched on earlier, it's not all about getting a college education, but it is about being educated in whatever you decide to do. However, it also goes beyond the trade. There are little pieces of education that a lot of people take for granted because they think that they're good at their trade, but they don't understand why their businesses aren't growing. Well, you also have to educate yourself on who you're selling to. I think we touched on that, but let's give a little more example. All right. Say, for instance, Jay knows everything about the stock market, has all the education, been updated, everything. However, he's selling to a group of people, but dressed a certain way. You gotta educate yourself on how to address people on. Well, actually, you gotta educate yourself on different angles in which you're gonna take. All right, in your journey. Okay, if you're selling to a certain group of people, you gotta have that look. You need to have that look. You don't have to, but it would definitely help propel you forward if you had a certain look that was more appealing to them. Or say, for instance, if you are, take me, all right, I'm a teacher at a Middle Eastern school, okay? And although I do really good work and they appreciate and love the work that I do, I can only imagine how much better I could be at it if I spoke Arabic. All right. If I spoke just a little bit of Arabic to further understand. Now, some of them might get scared off because I'm understanding some of what they're saying, but a lot of them would be more appreciative because I took time to show them that I genuinely care about becoming a part of what I'm doing. And so it's very important that you not only educate yourself on the trade, but educate yourself on what it takes to truly be good at what you do on all aspects, whether it's the way you talk, dialect, dressing, um, hey, everything, Go
Right.
ahead, Jake.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, you have to make sure that you put in that extra something, to separate yourself from the next person. If you're selling real estate, or if you're selling cars or whatever the case may be, trust me, people are going to be shopping around for everything. People are going to shop around, different cars. They're going to shop around for houses. They're going to shop around for plumbers, electricians, carpenters, whatever it is. They're going to shop around. And the person that they will want to hire, they'll want to hire the person to them that seems like they're the most knowledgeable about what it is that they want. Yeah, some people are going to look for, their hot button is going to be price. They just going to go with the cheapest person that they can find to do the job. But usually when you go with the cheapest person to find a job, you get the cheapest amount of work behind that price tag.
Get what you ask for. Yep.
Right. So educating yourself is only building value within your brand. Why do you think Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Ferrari, they have the sales that they have and they don't make commercials? You've never seen a Rolls-Royce commercial on television. Never seen a Ferrari commercial on television, Lamborghini, because the brand speaks for itself. When I'm dealing with Lamborghini or Rolls-Royce, I'm getting the best of the best. And that's how people need to view you and your brand of yourself. Look, I know when I talk with James, or if I talk with Joel, or I talk with Terrence, whomever, if this person I know is the best of what they're doing, I don't care what the price tag is. I'm going to buy into that brand because I know I'm getting excellence in that brand.
That's right.
And that's where we sometimes fall short, is that we don't build value in our brands.
True.
We just want to do the bare minimum. We just want to do the bare minimum. Just say, okay, I got this particular degree. I got this particular certification. I'm done. No.
That's right.
You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to build more value. You got to keep educating yourself to where, when you get to that upper echelon, you can say, okay, you can go with Oreos, or you can go with Chocolate Rounds, Great Value brand. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be Nabisco, or do you want to be Great Value?
True. Let me say this. I give Kanye and the creator of Apple all the respect in the world. The two of them are truly marketing geniuses. And I know that both of them did a lot of research into what it is they were selling, how to sell it, and what will work the best. The one thing that they capitalized on at a time when nobody else was capitalizing on it was what a lot of people put to the side. The one thing that built up Apple and Yeezy was accessibility. And I know for a fact, see, the shoes and whatnot, I had a pair. They were of the same quality, sometimes less. Let's be honest. They were comfortable, but some of those shoes were just like, what are we doing here? You just got styrofoam on your foot, But they were educated in how to sell. The one thing that made their brand jump so high, so quick over Jordan was the one thing that got Jordan to where they were, to an extent. Accessibility. There were only so many Yeezys that they sold, and once you didn't get a pair,
you just didn't get a pair
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, even though they had moderate prices, the value of the brand, it grew tremendously. When you look at Apple, right? Apple, no offense, hey, Apple is a great product. Let me start off by saying that. I have to give them the Stephen A. LeBron James treatment. Apple is a great product, okay? It works for everybody who has Apple products, who has Apple headphones, everything Apple, all right? But here's the thing. The fact of the matter is, Apple is always 3 steps behind Samsung, even though they're selling more than Samsung. Why? Because of accessibility, all right? They are less accessible. And I don't mean that they don't put out as many phones. I'm talking about it's less accessible, it's less saturated. Every time I look up and I see a Samsung, they're coming out with a new model. Every time I look up. So when you've got so many models of a particular brand, then that means that nobody will feel left out, which is a good thing. But in doing so, you also lower the value. You kind of lower the value in a lot of people's eyes, in the market's eyes, of your brand. So this is the type of education that a lot of people would not look at off top and notice that there was value in them making their stuff less accessible. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't see that, but someone who is doing more than just looking at what's selling, they're looking at the market. They're looking at buying trends, fashion trends. This is the type of education you have to go to seek beyond just the education of your trade. When you're building your brand and you're trying to sell your brand, whether it's to a company, to other people, when you are trying to put yourself out there, it is important that you know or have an education of all angles that you may have to partake in.
Right.
Okay, that sounded kind of wild. Okay. All angles of success. Okay. No Diddy. Hey, all angles of success.
But here's the thing. Whatever your brand is, always try to look at, okay, whoever is the top dog and whatever it is that you're doing. Look at what they're doing, look at that model of how they do things and say, okay, how can I take what they're doing and build upon that to make what I'm doing better, and even to a point to where that particular brand is going to reach out to you and come to you for stuff.
There's a hope.
Because what a lot of people don't understand is that Samsung makes a lot of the parts for Apple.
They don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. What Samsung did when the iPhone came out, they were like, okay. Everybody's gravitating towards this phone and everybody's saying that this is the next best thing. So what they did is they took the phone, dissected it, broke it all the way down to bare bones and said, okay, how can we take this, not mimic what they do, but let's make things better than what they have, put a patent on that to where now they can't use this until they come through us. And yeah, we will help you, but you're going to buy from us. We're not going to give you a patent for it or sell the patent to you. No, you're going to buy from us. And that's what Samsung did with Apple. And a lot of people don't know that. And that's honestly, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. 100%.
Next level.
Right.
Yes.
And whatever it is that you're doing in your business, just try to have that same approach. Try to learn, as much as you can. Get yourself a mentor, and whatever it is that you're doing, get yourself a mentor. Get yourself someone that you can say, okay, I strive to be on this person's level. Let me see if they'll allow me to, hell, even if you got to say, I'll work with you for free. Ain't nobody going to turn down no free labor.
Apprenticeship. We were talking about that. Jay-Z, what'd he do? He had those millionaire breakfasts with Warren Buffett. I mean, you gotta pay to play sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just if you have to just give up some of your free time and just say, hey, let me help you doing whatever it is that you're doing. I don't want no money, nothing like that. Just let me help you. Let me shadow you. Just let me soak up your knowledge.
Right.
I don't know too many people that's going to turn down something like that, because they're going to see, okay, this is number one, free help, because no one's going to turn down free help. But number two, if someone is really, truly a good, caring person, they will be like, okay, this person has a hunger and a passion. So let me help this person with that hunger and passion. Let's mold it, let's shape it. Let me pour some of my knowledge into this person, no diddy. And then that way we can take this thing to the next level. And everybody wins in that situation. Everybody wins.
Yes.
We got to
No.
stop having that crab in a barrel mentality. We have to stop having that. And that's one thing that I can appreciate when we did our interview with Chris. When Chris himself was like, hey, if any of you guys have any aspirations of wanting to have your own perfume brand or have your own perfume, reach out to me. I'll help you. That right there spoke volumes about the type of person that Chris is.
Definitely. The guy from day 3, when Ross was having a live and talking to him, I mean, they had a few minutes where he was just answering questions. People had questions about where to get the oils and stuff like that. He was just giving his honest answers, just to help anybody that was curious. So, yeah, it's definitely transparency to some extent is definitely needed. No one's asking to give away secrets of your perfumery or of your trade and whatnot, but definitely lending a helping hand to help other people and watch other people grow is definitely a must.
Right.
It's definitely a must nowadays.
Right. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And again, I don't know what walks of life that everybody, in the chat is coming from, or even those that's going to watch this, in the future, broadcast. I mean, I have to get used to that, y'all. Like, this is our first live on YouTube, so please bear with me here, all right? So, whatever it is that you're doing in life, like Jim said earlier, pay it forward. If someone has done something good for you and helping you build your company, your brand into something that's special, pay that forward to somebody else who has the same aspirations that you have. Don't get to that particular level and say, okay, I've made it, so therefore you just shun and shoot everyone else away from you. No, take that information, put that information to use, and share that knowledge with other people. Because if you're doing that, you're building a better world. You're actually helping build the economy. Because the more thriving businesses and products and brands that we have out there, the more the economy will thrive. So please, people, don't take your knowledge and just hold it to yourself. Share it with other people. Help other people build their brands. Help other people build their careers. Even if it's just, if you're just, hell, a single dad, and whatever. Hell, share that information with a brand new dad on saying, hey, this is what you need to do and this is what you don't need to do. Just make sure that you're taking whatever information that you have, because trust me, to someone, the knowledge that you have is golden for other people.
For sure.
Don't think just because you're, so say, at this particular level down here, don't think that, you can't share that knowledge that you have with somebody and bring them up to where you are. And then together, you guys can rise together.
No, for sure. That's a fact. For my Christians out there, for my Christian brothers out there, we believe in blessings. We believe that when you're blessed, you bless others, because if your hand is always like this, how can God pour into it, right? And for my Muslim brethren, right now we're in the time of Ramadan, and the thing is about remembering basically what's important in a sense. And I see a lot of my brothers out there doing deeds, trying to commit good deeds, to improve their chances on being received into Jannah. Habib, I'm sure he knows, and Terrence probably knows a little bit about it. But without helping your brother, how can you call yourself a brother? It's like it's kind of like you can't consider yourself human if you don't help out those who look, walk, talk, and act like you. It's just, how do you do that? So what we're trying to do is just make it normal, no matter no matter who they are, where they come from, so long as you see good in what they're trying to do and the path that they're choosing and whatnot, help them in whatever way, shape, or you can. It may not always be financial, it may not always be just like us. I can't go out giving out money. I ain't making that much to begin with, but I can set aside time of my day to get on here with Jay and share some gems, some hidden
Right.
gems. All right. We
Right.
I share a couple of decants to help people experience. With the kids I train, I buy them bottles of fragrance. I do other little things for them, give them advice when they call. So I mean, that's it, man. Just spreading the education, just spreading your knowledge, and in doing so, you will become wiser. Because the only way to retain more and more knowledge is to be able to pour some of it out and into others. Pause. No diddy. All right.
Yeah, man. I mean, and that's just the thing, y'all. I mean, there's, this saying, one hand washes the other, but both hands wash the face. So, we have to take that mentality. We have to make sure that we're taking care of each other. And if we're coming together and we're taking care of each other and helping each other build, trust me, guys, not only will your business, flourish because you've done good for that person, but that person is going to always remember that. And that person is going to always, you know, give to you and help you along the way if you ever needed help with something. I mean, that's just the way life goes, man. I mean, you just have to pay things forward, help other people because, we're all trying to build brands. Even with our platform and what we're trying to do, we're going to be reaching out, to Dedrick and, Ross and, to people who are doing this and have success doing it.
Yes.
So, we're trying to build our brand just like, everybody else. And if you have the knowledge to help someone else, come on, y'all. Let's just do what's right. Let's help each other and let's all be successful together, because we can all rejoice in each other's successes.
All right. Well, hey, that's going to kind of wrap it up on the topic for us of building your brand as far as receiving an education and what type of education, what are we trying to learn? How do you go about learning for that path? However, hey, in the era of still touching on our fragrances and whatnot, Jay, now talk about building a brand again. Last time we talked about something that kind of inspired us to, what was it? Inspired us to perform a little better. What was it? Because last time we were touching on the fragrance that we chose at the end of it. I forgot what it was, man.
Well, we were talking about gentlemanly fragrances.
Gentlemanly. Okay.
We were talking about gentlemanly fragrances, and last week I went with Burlington 1819 from House of Rosa.
Right.
Is what I went with last week. But this week I just kind of want to bring just something a little bit different to the equation for you guys, a fragrance that nobody in FragComp ever speaks on. The only fragrance that you truly hear a lot about from this particular house is Vanilla Oud, is the fragrance that you're going to always hear when you bring up this fragrance brand, which is Virtus. But for me, my go-to from this house, for me, which is more versatile, it's definitely a gentlemanly fragrance. It's a fragrance, that's not going to be a screamer. It's not going to be something that's going to, fill a room per se. But when people smell this, they're going to be like, damn, that brother right there is well put together.
Indeed.
They got to come in close. The sillage from this thing is really what's going to catch them. And the fragrance that I'm talking to y'all about right now is going to be Bois et Queer from the House of Virtus.
Boy, that's that Diddy.
Man, this one right here, y'all, I got to give myself a spray.
Don't get them.
My God.
What you got? What you got?
You've got your citruses up top. You've got some apple. You've got some ivy. You've got some vanilla in the base, some oak moss, tonka. Got some clary sage, lavender, cedar, patchouli. I mean, this thing, man. This thing is phenomenal, man.
Let me ask you this, Jay. Okay, so topic being something that how it describes you. What about that fragrance suits you? How does it kind of mold who you are?
Well, I mean, one thing about this, man, I mean, I am a gentleman, first and foremost, I am a gentleman. I am well put together whenever I do leave my house. You're not going to catch me out in these streets just looking any kind of way. It's approachable. It's not going to be something that's going to be off-putting. It's going to be very approachable. It's going to be something to where when you smell it, it's like, man, it's sweet. It's inviting.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's classy. People don't mention this fragrance. And it's a shame that it's not spoken on.
Say the
it's
name
fire
again.
to me. Bois et Queer.
Bois et Queer?
Yeah. Bois et Queer. BOISETCUIR.
Oh, et Queer. Okay.
Bois, yes. This one right here is one that nobody speaks on. And it's a shame because honestly, it's probably one of the better ones from the house. Just keep it in the buck. For those that like Creed Aventus, Cedroc Boise, if you like that scent profile, you're gonna love this because in the initial blast, because you get that apple in the opening, it kind of will give you a little bit of those aforementioned fragrances that I just spoke about, but it goes in a totally different direction.
Oh,
there's oud in this fragrance, but it's not like a dirty oud.
Right.
But you do get some oud in the base, but it's fresh to where you can wear this one all year round. You can dress it up. I wouldn't dress it down, too much. I wouldn't say, okay, spray this on to go to the gym or something like that. But it's a gentlemanly fragrance, man. It's a man's fragrance. Right now, if you wanted to go on the Max Aroma, they've got it on sale right now you can get it for like $99 on Max Aroma right now. And honestly, it's worth every single penny of what you pay for it. In my wearings of it, I'm getting about 6 to 8 hours out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's good for me. You don't need something that's going to always scream off the skin all the time. This one is perfect for the office. I mean, perfect. You're not going to offend anybody. You can spray heavy and you're not going to have to worry about offending anybody. All they're going to tell you is, wow, you really smell nice.
All right.
It's a compliment getter, man. I'm telling y'all, you're not going to lose with this one, man.
Okay.
Take me at my word. I don't think that I've led any of y'all down the wrong path of buying something.
Not yet.
But I'm telling y'all, you got to get this. Dame said, let one of his parlays hit tonight. It's up. Okay. I got you, Joel. Absolutely.
Hey,
so yeah, man.
That's what's up, man. Like you had told me earlier, and I never, like you said, the purchasing of vanilla, of Virtus Vanilla Oud has definitely saturated the community as far as what all Virtus has to offer. So definitely have to get my nose on that. I'm kind of curious to see what it smells like,
Yeah, Mr. Clark said he just added a 10 mil to his cart on Sin Angel.
Already.
Yeah, Mr. Clark, get that in, Mr. Clark. Shoot me a message and let me know what you think, man. Let the people know if I'm capping or if I'm telling you it's the real deal, Holyfield.
And I think you said that you first really heard someone review of what was Need.
Yeah, Neeb. Neeb did it on his live,
Oh,
but
when he had the whole
he
discovery
had
set,
the whole
right?
discovery set, so
Yeah.
he was going through all of them. So when he got to this one, him and his sister both was like, "Ooh!" Like it just like blew him away. Neeb gave it a 9.5 out of 10. Is what Neeb gave it. So I was like, you know what? If Neeb is gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10, I trust Neeb's nose. So I was like, you know what? I saw it. It was on sale for like $90.
Let's go try it out.
You know, I like the Aventus, whole DNA of that, Cedra Boise, all those things. So if it's got that scent DNA per se, I know that it's not going to be an offensive fragrance. So I was like, but honestly, I enjoyed this one more than Creed Aventus and Cedra Boise. I enjoyed this one more.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what's up. I'm definitely going to get my nose on it. But I tell you what, following the same measurement, I would say, or at least, going with the same guideline, a fragrance that kind of fits me in a bottle. Had a few to choose from, but overall decided to go with this one. This is a discontinued gem. Now it's becoming more and more of a hidden gem, and I'm just very appreciative that I got it. There has been one clone of this. I say clone, rendition, whatever a mimic of this fragrance, and it actually comes very close. But this thing has different facets. It definitely has several contrasting elements to it. But my scent that I chose is none other than Fève Delicieuse. All right. Now, I heard about this first from Bowtie Fragrance Guy, right? And he went into a spell. It was from like a couple of years ago when he talked about all of his favorite Dior Privés. Or I think no, I take that back. I think he was doing something with his wife, and he was talking about gourmand scents. And he sprayed this, and I looked up and I saw that it was selling out, and I had to get me a little 40 ml bottle. But y'all, this right here, so good. Y'all, when I tell you off of the spray, first and foremost, you get the sweetness from the vanilla, the tonka bean, and you get some of the sour sweetness from the sour cherry. Now, the accords in here definitely smell chocolatey, all right? But in the midst of the chocolate, I think you can kind of get some of the caramel and some of the sweetness. I think there may be like a sugar note or whatnot. But yeah, this thing pulls from everywhere. You get some white florals, a little lavender. I remember lavender because it's very apparent. It's very obvious in here.
Is there any patchouli?
I don't know. Let me see. Here.
Because I'm wondering, when you said it's kind of chocolatey, I was wondering if, because sometimes patchouli can give a fragrance, kind of like a chocolatey smell to it.
Yeah, the patchouli, but typically, yeah, I do get that, but no. As a matter of fact, here it is, Jay. No, it literally has dark chocolate. So let me read it. This is how multifaceted it is in a sense. All right, it has citrus, Calabrian bergamot, mint, lavender, cherry, freesia, jasmine, and a lot of these you get some of the notes. They actually poke out. Now, you may not be able to distinguish between jasmine and freesia, but you definitely get the florals in the midst of it, right?
Okay.
Then you've got tonka bean, Madagascar vanilla, which is a stronger vanilla typically. You got caramel, dark chocolate, benzoin. You already know that with the Madagascar vanilla, so you know it's coming out thick. Pause. No diddy. All right. And then, of course, you've got leather, which is definitely apparent on the dry down. Sandalwood, Coconut. I'm not getting much coconut, but I wouldn't be surprised if I got it on the dry down. And of course, cedar wood. But you know, when I tell you it touches on everything, of course, you get the gentleman notes of the cedar, the sandalwood, and the leather. Those are the manly notes. All right. Then, of course, you get the sweetness, the smooth vibes. The reason why I love this so much is because it's not just for a gentleman, but it's also the scent of a ladies' man. Because this is a scent where you have to handle with care. Okay. Because if you were to go in an event around women, I promise you, even at work, they will come up to you and ask you, what are you wearing? I truly like that scent. You will get plenty of engagement as long as you look like you are worth engaging, or
Right.
if you are, in the mood for being engaged in a sense. All right.
Right. Right.
But honestly, it is a very engaging scent in a sense. All right. It is definitely one where if you go into a crowd of women, I say if you go in a group of 5 women, at least 2 of them, I would bet money that at least 2 of them would ask, what are you wearing? Because this thing lasts too. 6 to 8 hours. After about 2 to 3 hours, it becomes a skin scent. Definitely off of the initial spray in the first couple of hours, you get the sweetness, the fruitiness, of course, but on that dry down, you still get a sweet, woody scent, and you never really lose that gourmand facet of it. So it's a beautiful scent, but not only is it a gentleman's scent, y'all, it is a ladies' man scent. And it is quality. I tell you what, as linear as it technically leans, just the blend is so beautiful that it makes you have to have it, honestly.
Yeah.
If you can get a bottle, get your hands on it. I promise you. If you don't mind gourmand, slightly floral, but yet decadent and woody dry downs, you'll love this. Trust me.
Yeah. And you said that one's discontinued, right?
It is discontinued, but there are people out there who have bought multiple bottles. If you go onto like Fragrance Marketplace or whatnot, you can still find a bottle. Now, I think they're only going to sell the big bottles, typically like the 250s.
Yeah.
And it can come out to like $600. But I tell you what, for those who got it, it's worth it. I know I was looking at buying a big bottle and then just decanting it. Get some of your money back. All I need is 100 mil.
Now, Joel made a comment, and he said that if some of you guys want to clone of that one, that Paris Corner makes one called Frenetic Delicios.
Delicios, yes.
It's really, really close. So for those that, may be interested in wanting to get that, but don't want to pay that premium since it's discontinued, then, you might want to go that direction. So I appreciate, Joel, you letting everybody know.
Yes,
thank you. Where they can get, pretty close to it. Absolutely.
Yes. You know what's funny though, Jay? I bought Frenetic Delicios before I bought Bev.
Really?
And buying the clone made me really want. I mean, it definitely motivated me and pushed me to go ahead and make the purchase for the original. That's how good the clone is. And although it's not as smooth, it is a great blend. And to the normal or mediocre nose, they won't know. They will not know.
Is that close?
It's that close.
Wow.
You want me to go get the bottle? I got the bottle. I got Frenetic.
Yeah, go get it. Let me see what you're talking about.
Yes.
But y'all, this right here, this boy Ed Queer, while James has stepped away, y'all, you have to at least get yourself a sample of this fragrance, y'all. It is so good. It's so good. Mr. Clark, when you get that sample, brother, I know that 100% you're going to be like, damn, this is good. I don't doubt it at all. James, I got to get you a decan of this one, man. I got to send you a decan of this one.
All right, no problem, but I'm going to send you some of this too. Hey,
put the bottles up. Put the both bottles up. Did they clone the bottle too?
Yeah, hold on one second. So you got Frenetic. This is Frenetic, and this is Bev. But when I tell y'all, hey, very close. I'm talking about exceedingly close. The one thing I do love about the Dior Privé lines, bro, when I tell you that magnetic cap is hella magnetic, I love it. It will pull, it will snap down on your finger.
Really?
Yes, I love it.
That's the beautiful thing about these, man. You get the magnetic cap on this one too.
Love it.
And it stays, man. And these Vertus bottles are heavy.
Oh yeah.
And this cap, it stays, man.
Trust me, them Dior's are similar. Yes. Yeah. Once you get past the opening on the frenetic is a little synthetic, somewhat alcoholic. But here's the thing. Give it a few minutes, and then you start to get the highlights of the original scent. It's very close.
Wow.
Very close. Very close. I'm not going to give a percentage because, from one person's nose to another, it can vary, but it is close. It is definitely close.
Yeah.
Even Bowtie Fragrance Guy, I don't know if EQ has, but other people have also agreed with that. So definitely check it out, y'all. Check it out.
Yeah, Mr. Clark says that a 10 mil of the Bois Queer on Sense Angel is only $15 for a 10 mil. Man, that's a good price for a 10 mil.
That's definitely good, man.
Yeah, that is a real good price.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely, man. Well,
but all right.
Wow. First one in the bag, man. First one on the books.
Hey, man, like Jay said earlier, man, thank y'all for coming out and showing up, man. We definitely appreciate it, couldn't do this without y'all,
Right.
And for us, we talked about this earlier. We didn't care if it was one or two people. We're appreciative that all of y'all showed up and that you spent a little time with us, man. We're not big on the whole, we don't do the whole comment, share, click, and like, but, if you feel the need to, definitely do one of the three or all of the three. And, hey, we're going to be back same time next week, or are we going to hop on here on Friday? We'll get back at you.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll get back at y'all.
But I'm going to take a different approach than what Jim said. Damn all that. Subscribe, like, comment, share, turn on the bell notification, all of that. We need to get this thing going, please, y'all. Thumbs up, like it, please. This is our first one. It's going to be kind of tough for people to find our platform, since it's our first video. So the more that, we thumbs up it, share it with your friends, share it with other people in FragCom, so that way we can bring more people to the channel. So please, y'all, by all means, like, comment, subscribe, please, 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 please. We need that.
And just for those who are wondering, like we said, we're going to have conversations, but we will still be doing reviews. It just won't be a review channel. We're going to have reviews. We're going to talk about specific scents. We're going to have some individual reviews as well. For instance, Jay got his nose on that I wasn't privy to, because he is a scent father, and he does get his nose on some exclusives out there. And I'm going to have some that I might be able to get my nose on that Jay hasn't yet. But we will be doing a number of content, and it will include plenty of fragrances and fragrance reviews. It's just that on Tuesdays, what we are steering to head to, what we're trying to head to, is having conversations, meaningful conversations about manhood, about life, about things going on, being in the know with what's going on nowadays.
Exactly. And that's the thing, y'all. Like when we have these lives, again, these lives are really going to be, we'll talk fragrance, but these lives are really going to be very topic specific in regards to, dialogue and different things of which we're going to be speaking on to, better us as men and as women, to where we can just be more productive and better for society and for the world. So at the end of the day, y'all, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate everything. This is our first one of many, and we'll be bringing y'all different, different houses and, talking, with different discovery sets and things like that. I mean, we're going to keep the fragrance content there. So guys, don't think that, on Tuesdays, you're just going to come here for a life lesson. Yeah, you're going to get some of that stuff, but we're still here. We're going to talk fragrance. We'll bring new fragrance houses to your attention. We'll, continue to get our discovery sets. We'll continue to do the things in which we've always been doing. But at the same time, we're just going to do it just a little bit different than the run of the mill, platforms that you're seeing.
For sure.
So for real, what's up, Dedrick? My guy, Dedrick, man. I appreciate you being in the building, Dedrick. Much love to you, my brother. Appreciate you, man. For real, appreciate it.
All right. Well, with that being said, y'all, once again, thank y'all for showing up and showing out. Yeah, please like, comment, share, and if you haven't subscribed, man, we greatly appreciate it. And we will definitely be coming back here, if not Friday, definitely Tuesday, to have another conversation. All right. And the next time we go live, we will be having part 3. We'll fill you in on what that will be later. But part 3 of our Convos for Change will be, well, we'll let you know.
Exactly.
For sure, we'll let you know. All right. People got lives and whatnot, but no, definitely we'll be on here to some degree, whether it's a premiere or whether it's a live. We'll be on here on Tuesdays and Fridays for sure. So until the next time, y'all, we definitely appreciate y'all for coming out and joining Sips and Sniffs. Y'all have a blessed evening. God bless. We out.
Peace, y'all.